Hello, and welcome to another retro video game stream on original hardware. Tonight we're going to be playing Space Rocks by Spiceware, which is a absolutely amazing homebrew version of Asteroids on the Atari 2600. I've played this on stream before, but we had played Asteroids last week on the Atari 8-bit. Actually, I think I might have played it before Thanksgiving. I think we canceled the Thanksgiving Wednesday stream. But anyway, we played the 8-bit Atari Asteroids, and then we played Asteroids on 2600. That didn't work so well. There's something wrong with the vertical sync that causes the capture on the or the upscaling rather on the RetroTrink 2X to freak out. So it doesn't work right. I tried capturing with a camera. It looks terrible. So unfortunately it didn't work out, and we were going to play Space Rocks after playing Atari 2600 Asteroids, but we never got around to doing it. So we're going to play Space Rocks today, and then later, after Space Rocks, we'll probably play another new game that I just got called Laser Gates. Part of the reason I want to revisit this and play Laser Gates, which I played a little bit on a stream not that long ago, was I'm now using my new modded Vader Atari 2600. I installed a Ultimate Atari video mod, and I can now do S-Video, which looks significantly better on my Atari 2600. So you may notice a little bit more crisp, a little more vibrant video from this Atari 2600. So hopefully there'll be better going forward with all Atari 2600 streaming that we do. I've asked for a RetroTink 5X for Christmas, which supposedly has triple buffering that helps fix the VSync problems, but I asked the RetroTink support people, and they said, well, it may or may not fix it, so there might just be some games that we can't stream from the 2600. Another game I'd like to stream is Wizard of War, which is a very good Atari 2600 port, but it also has VSync issues, and the RetroTink 2X upscaler has a real hard time with it. So anyway, Space Rocks is really cool. It's a modern homebrew. It has a little start menu here, which is pretty awesome. You can change the controls, so you can use like Sega Genesis controller if you want, or you can use the classic joystick, which I'm using my Suncom Slick Stick, my favorite Atari joystick. You can change it so that it's solid, or sort of like the vector graphics. I like the vector graphics. You can do color or gray. You can change the color around. I like the kind of classic 2600 multicolor Asteroids. I think it looks cool. There's different difficulties. Just play normal. I like the shields. I think that's cool. Friction, of course, is great. Bonus life. Now, if you want to play a sort of hard mode, you can turn that off. We'll just put it on 10K. That's how it is in the arcade. And the Magna Mines are from Asteroids Deluxe. And I actually don't like the Magna Mines. I'm going to turn them off at first, and then we might play with them later. They're kind of frustrating to deal with. And when I was a kid and I played Asteroids on the Atari 8-bit, there were no Magna Mines. I never played Asteroids Deluxe in the arcade, so they're a little bit unusual to me. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started here with some Space Rocks on Atari 2600. This game has a really cool... that's a little loud. Has a really cool ability to play multiplayer. I'm gonna have to restart here. Cooperative, which I'm a big fan of. Sorry, it's just a little loud. Now, if you know anything about how Asteroids is on the 2600, you should know that this is already quite remarkable. uh, I'm just blown away by how great this looks on this system. It's better than the 8-bit Atari Asteroids by a huge margin. So I'm pretty sure this is using memory banking and the Harmony cart for this homebrew, which has extra memory and other stuff. But it is a cart you can play on your original 2600 hardware. Just pop it in and it works. Oops. Now, Asteroids, an Atari classic, hugely popular, released in, I think, 1979, created by Ed Logg. I think they were working on a different game, and when they were testing the game, the players liked just shooting asteroids rather than doing whatever it was the other game's concept was, shooting another ship or something like that. And so Ed Logg said, well, why don't we just make a game where the players shoot asteroids? I do not know what's causing that interference. Now, the way the shield works is you can only use it for a limited amount of time before it turns off. And if you use it for too long, it'll blow up. Ah! And I feel like Space Rocks is more like the difficulty from the arcade Asteroids game, which is significantly harder than the 2600 Asteroids. That being said, the 2600 Asteroids game is actually pretty cool. I mean, as far as arcade ports go, it's really very good. It's sort of its own thing, and it's pretty good for, I think it's a 4K. Crud. I think it's a 4K cartridge. Anyway, this homebrew was available on the Atari Age homebrew software page, and I bought a physical copy of it based on a recommendation of Atari 26 homebrews. It did not disappoint for its quality. It's very good. I forget what I paid for it. Maybe $25? So it wasn't, cheap. But on the other hand, $25 isn't unreasonable for a very nice physical copy of a very good homebrew game. Now, Atari Age was bought by Atari, I think this year or early this year, maybe late last year. And a lot of Atari fans were freaking out that, that was a bad omen, and Atari Age is going to be terrible now. But my understanding is that Atari wants Atari Age to carry on doing what they were doing, but they're going to kind of restructure how they sell homebrews or create them. They want to work more closely with Atari Age. So I'm optimistic that we actually might get more homebrews and access to some of the really quality stuff directly from Atari. I don't know why my TV signal is doing that. I wonder if it's like my microwave or something. Kind of freaking me out. It's always something. Crud. We have an old house, and I suspect that the electricity in our 100-year-old house is dirty, or I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with why it does that. Anyway, one of the things I had said about the 8-bit Atari Asteroids that I liked so much was that you could play it cooperatively, and Space Rocks has that. I'm always a big fan of cooperative games. I used to play cooperative games with my dad. A game called Bacterian on the Atari 8-bit, which was a magazine game that was a clone of the arcade game Ripoff. And that was really fun. It got, more intense as you played. It could get really frenetic, and it was always fun playing with my dad. Anything like that was cooperative. And Bacterian was great. Great little game. Kind of like Asteroids, but a little different. And we used to play Asteroids together. Ah! Crud. Playing kind of badly here. as a rule, generally want to stay in the center of the screen. And you generally want to try to destroy the rocks as you create them quickly, rather than making a lot of debris, which I'm sort of doing right now. I forget what my high score on Space Rocks is, but I feel like if you're playing well, you should be able to break 100,000 at least. Especially when you can get an extra guy every 10,000 points. So we'll try to shoot for 100,000. That was lousy. Again, it's just amazing that the 2600 can generate this quality of Asteroids experience. Which is just, you know, like basically just like the arcade. Crud. Well, I'm not doing very. That's it. 52,000. Okay. Let's give this another try. Let's put on the Magnamines this time. I know it'll be harder, but it might be more points. Hmm. That wasn't very good. Now, I mentioned this in the earlier stream, but the first versions of Asteroids had kind of a bug in them where players could sort of indefinitely kill the spaceships without destroying all the asteroids. So they had to just leave one asteroid there and then kind of just let the ships come in indefinitely. So they had to revise the way the game difficulty ramped up. And so I always wondered, like, what was that version of Asteroids like, where you could just sort of indefinitely leave one asteroid floating around. I don't think I've ever tested the theory to see if that strategy still works or not. Very aggressive Magnamines. Well, the Magnamines keep showing up. Yep. So it definitely has the logic where if you stick around too long, the enemy saucers get more aggressive. Because I stuck around for a long time with one asteroid left, and it just sort of started shooting right at me. $44,000, so it's definitely a lot harder with the Magnamines. All right. So that is Space Rocks, a really amazing hardware-pushing homebrew of Asteroids on the Atari 2600. So we're going to switch it over to Laser Gates and be right back. So let's switch the cartridge out. Laser Gates is an iMagic game that I picked up recently. I saw a review of it and said that it was a kind of hidden gem for the 2600. So I was on the lookout for it. I finally got a copy. So we're going to switch over to that and give that a shot. So we'll be right back.